Now, it wasn't too long ago, as Rich said, that Maytag closed its operations in Newton. And hundreds of jobs were lost. These floors were dark and silent. The only signs of a once thriving enterprise were the cement markings where the equipment had been before they were boxed up and carted away. Look at what we see here today. This facility is alive again with new industry. This community is still going through some tough times. If you talk to your neighbors and friends, I know the community still hasn't fully recovered from the loss of Maytag. Not everybody's been rehired, but more than 100 people will now be employed at this plant, maybe more if we keep on moving. Many of the same folks who had lost their jobs when Maytag shut its doors now are finding, once again, their ability to make great products. Now, obviously things aren't exactly the same as they were with Maytag, because now you're using the materials behind me to build towers to support some of the most advanced wind turbines in the world. When completed, these structures will hold up blades that can generate as much as 2.5 megawatts of electricity, enough energy to power hundreds of homes. At Trinity, you are helping to lead the next energy revolution. We also need to find safer ways to use nuclear power and store nuclear waste. But the bulk of our efforts must focus on unleashing a new clean energy economy that will begin to reduce our dependence on foreign oil, will cut our carbon pollution by about 80% by 2050, and create millions of new jobs right here in America, right here in Newton. My administration has already taken unprecedented action towards this goal. It's work that begins with the simplest, fastest, most effective way we have to make our economy cleaner, and that is to make our economy more energy efficient. California has shown that it can be done. While electricity consumption grew 50% in this country over the last 3 decades, in California, it remained flat. Think about this. I want everybody to think about this. Over the last several decades, the rest of the country, we used 50% more energy. California remained flat, used the same amount, even though that they were growing just as fast as the rest of the country, because they were more energy efficient. They put in some good policy early on that assured that they weren't wasting energy. Now, if California can do it, then the whole country can do it. Iowa can do it. Through the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, we've begun to modernize 75% of all federal building space, which has the potential to reduce long-term energy costs just in federal buildings by billions of dollars on behalf of taxpayers. So we're providing grants to states to help weatherize hundreds of thousands of homes, which will save the families that benefit about $350 each year. That's like a $350 tax cut. Consumers are also eligible as part of the Recovery Act for up to $1,500 in tax credits to purchase more efficient cooling and heating systems, insulation, and windows in order to reduce their energy bills. And I've issued a memorandum to the Department of Energy to implement more aggressive efficiency standards for common household appliances like dishwashers and refrigerators. We actually have made so much progress just on something as simple as refrigerators that you have seen refrigerators today many times more efficient than they were back in 1974. We save huge amounts of energy if we upgrade those appliances. Through these steps, over the next 3 decades, we will save twice the amount of energy produced by all the coal-fired power plants in America in any given year. And today I'm announcing that my administration is taking another historic step. Through the Department of Interior, we are establishing a program to authorize, for the very first time, the leasing of federal waters for projects to generate electricity from wind, as well as from ocean currents and other renewable sources. This will open the door to major investments in offshore clean energy. example, there is enormous interest in wind projects off the coast of New Jersey and Delaware, and today's announcement will enable these projects to move forward. Now, it's estimated that if we fully pursue our potential for wind energy on land and offshore, wind can generate as much as 20% of our electricity by 2030 and create 250,000 jobs in the process, 250,000 jobs in the process, jobs that pay well and provide good benefits. My budget's also making unprecedented investments in mass transit, high-speed rail, and in our highway system to reduce the congestion that wastes money, time, and energy. We need to connect Des Moines to Chicago with high-speed rail. All across the Midwest. That way you don't have to take off your shoes when you want to go visit Chicago, going through the airport. All of these steps we've taken in just the first 3 months probably represents more progress than we've achieved in 3 decades on the energy front. We're beginning the difficult work of reducing our dependence on foreign oil. We're beginning to break the bonds, the grip that fossil fuels has on us. We're beginning to create a new, clean energy economy and the millions of jobs that will flow from it. Now, there are those who still cling to the notion that we ought to just continue doing what we do, that we can't change. Americans like to use a lot of energy, that's just how we are. The government has neither the responsibility nor the reason to address our dependence on energy sources, even though they undermine our security and threaten our economy and endanger our planet. And then there's this even more dangerous idea, the idea that there's nothing we can do about it. Our politics is broken, our people are unwilling to make hard choices, so politicians decide, look, even though we know it's something that has to be done, we're just going to put it off. That's what's happened for the last 3, 4, 5 decades. Everybody's known that we had to do something, but nobody wanted to actually go ahead and do it, because it's hard. The implication in this argument is that we've somehow lost something important. That perhaps because of the very prosperity we've built over the course of generations, we've given up that fighting American spirit, that sense of optimism, that willingness to tackle tough challenges, that determination to see those challenges to the end. The notion that we've gotten soft somehow. I reject that argument. I reject it because of what you're doing right here at Trinity. What's happening right here at Newton after folks have gone through hard times. I reject it because of what I've seen across this country, in all the eyes of the people that I've met, in the stories that I've heard, in the factories I've visited, in the places where I've seen the future being pieced together, test by test, trial by trial. So it will not be easy. There will be bumps along the road. There will be costs for our nation and for each of us as individuals. As I said before, there's no magic bullet, there's no perfect answer to our energy needs. All of us are going to have to use energy more wisely. But I know that we are ready and able to meet these challenges. All of us are beneficiaries of a daring and innovative past. Our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents adapted to much more difficult circumstances to deliver the prosperity that we enjoy today. And I'm confident that we can be and will be the benefactors of a brighter future for our children and grandchildren. That can be our legacy. A legacy of vehicles powered by clean, renewable energy, traveling past newly opened factories, of industries employing millions of Americans in the work of protecting our planet, of an economy exporting the energy of the future instead of importing the energy of the past, of a nation once again leading the world to meet the challenges of our time. That's our future. I hope you're willing to work with me to get there. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless